Hey, this is Coach Miller with BTB Lax, and I'm talking about part 3 of Coach Starsia's book. I hope you will be happy. And part 3 is all about lacrosse. So let's dive into some of the key takeaways that I found when reading that part of the book. And the first part talks about coaches and how successful coaches need to be organized on a daily basis. And he talks about, the importance of practice plans and being organized with everything from, the stuff that you're doing on the field to the recruiting to, stuff you do with like the logistics of traveling and stuff like that. And so he talks about that. I remember, when I was playing at Tufts back in, Coach Daly, he's now the head coach at Brown, was our coach, and he was a very organized coach. He still is. And he would have the practice plan posted every day. There was never any questions what was being done on that given day. We'd get a weekly schedule. So if you're a lacrosse coach out there and you don't think that's important, then look at some of these very successful coaches and what they suggest. So you might want to give it a try. The other thing that he talks about is like being excited, like being very excited to be there, to be in the moment, to be around your players, to have that like give and take with your players, to talk with the other coaches, to be excited, for practice, for the games, for the travel, for the upcoming season, for tryouts or whatever it be. But it's like really important and you can't fake it either. It's like if you're not excited and you're kind of dull and whatever and you're not feeling it, then maybe you should reevaluate whether you are coaching in the first place. But if you are, just dig deep and show that, just like bring that excitement, because it's contagious, and like your team can like really like build off of that, and everybody can just be excited to be there, be excited to be around everybody. And so Coach Starsia talks about that a lot and how important that was. He's got a few quotes in here that I loved. The book is scattered with different quotes at different sections of it. You can tell he's just collecting them for the years of him reading and writing and discovering stuff. So he probably got a whole chest full of these quotes, but this one is from Einstein, and he goes, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." So if you're always just judging yourselves on success of wins or championships, how many players going to become professional or something like that, as opposed to just having value every day, like doing the right thing, doing the steps that eventually do lead to success, but you're not judging yourself on success. It's more on the value. I really, that quote right there, stuck with me. He talks about passing a lot, and you see it several times throughout the book. Now in the lacrosse section, we see it again. He's adamant about lacrosse players becoming great passers. And he talks about throwing a catchable ball. So for instance, if you're in transition and you're throwing it upfield to a cutting midfielder, and you throw it sidearm and the ball's rising, and it's very difficult for the player catching the ball to see that a rising ball coming at that. Instead, like throwing passes that are just easy to catch, like falling in your teammate's sticks so that they can make the next play. But he's adamant, so you lacrosse players out there, work on becoming great passers, and it doesn't matter the position that you play. Another quote that really stuck with me here was Ann Landers. I didn't know who that was, so I had to look it up, and she was an advice columnist for the Chicago Tribune back in the 1940s. But this quote really hit home with me. He goes, "The true measure of a man is how he treats somebody who can do him absolutely no good." So what that means is, if you come across a person on the sidewalk and that person is never going to do you a favor or give you anything, but do you still treat him with respect or her with respect, and have value in that person, and just always having that mindset really goes a long way. And I could tell that it kind of goes back to what Coach Starsia was talking about, talking in a positive manner, and how that he realized early on in his career that he was in the people business, and that he needed to talk to people and have them respect and be able to do things that he wanted them to do. In order to do that, the most successful way was to talk positively. So that's similar to Ann Landers' quote, whoever you're talking with, just try to talk positively, and and then move on. The other one, you see this a decent amount. When you coach with him on the field, he talks about dazzling me with your consistency. So you just need to be a consistent player every day. You consistently get your workouts in, you consistently go to class, you consistently work on your skills, and then when you get on the field, you consistently make plays. those stuff adds up. It literally gets you the confidence to make those bigger plays, and then you can like keep on building. I talked about this in my internal drive article that I just recently posted. Consistency goes a long way when you're trying to do things and create value. And then the last part I wanted to take away was he talks about being able to make a play in the moment. So like when it's stressful in the fourth quarter, the game's tied or you're down, you need to throw that pass or you need to catch, a pass or just something. And it doesn't be a spectacular play. You don't need to, do a Gary Gate diving goal to win the game, but you just need to make the next pass. So he's looking for those players that can consistently make those passes even under times during stress. And in order to do that, you do what he talks about is by living and competing and succeeding in a stressful environment. So that's why playing college lacrosse, playing high school lacrosse, playing youth lacrosse, playing club lacrosse is putting yourself in a stressful environment if you take advantage of it and if you do the work to prepare. So part 3 of Coach Starsia's book was all about lacrosse. There's 4 parts. The next video will dive into that. So Coach Miller with BTB Lax, talk soon.